Elon Musk is at it again. Bitcoin is down about 20% since a few miscalculated tweets. Time to think like an investor. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Josh, and on this channel, it's all about personal finance, investing, and wealth. And someone who's really good at kind of all three of those, it appears, is this guy, Elon Musk. And I think he is absolutely hilarious. Just the way that he's peddling different cryptocurrencies and trying to pump and dump different things. And he's naming his kid a name that has a combination of letters and numbers and hyphens and all sorts of stuff. And then he calls him a toddler hodler because he gives him some cryptocurrency so that his own child can have some. It seems like this whole thing's a joke. He's all about Dogecoin and these, it blows my mind that maybe the world's most influential tweeter, now that Donald Trump's gone, thank goodness, and the world's most powerful business person have kind of merged into one. And we saw this transpire once again over the past couple weeks. But before we get into that, I first of all wanted to give a massive shout out to the sponsor of today's video, which is Railway Roasters. This new Yeti mug I have on my desk has replaced all of the money and time I spent getting Starbucks every single day. So let's say I walk to Starbucks, 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back, that's 40 minutes out of my day. I spend $3 while I'm there, I do that 30 times a month. This coffee is probably saving me at least a couple $100 every single month. So if you guys are looking for a new premium, locally grown coffee from a personal friend of mine, I would highly recommend you take a look at Railway Roasters. There's a link in our description below. Go get yourself a couple bags of coffee. I promise you will enjoy it a ton. So here's you, Billy from Arkansas, working a part-time job. He's finally got on your feet, making some money, and you decide, hey, everyone's talking about this cryptocurrency stuff. Maybe I can make a little bit more on the side if I just take this money and buy myself a few Bitcoins. So sure enough, you go, you do the research, you buy you get the cold storage wallet, you get on the exchange, you get the whole bit, and you get yourself a couple of Bitcoins or Ethereum or Ripple or whatever cryptocurrency is hot this week. And to your surprise, Elon Musk comes out and tweets one of the most influential things I believe for cryptocurrency in the story thus far, which is he comes out and he says, hey, as the founder of one of the most popular and one of the most influential companies trying to solve Earth's greatest problems, I think that Tesla, from now on, will start accepting cryptocurrency as payment for new vehicles. And that was mind-blowing. That's huge for you because that's a completely different story for Bitcoin. And this is a game changer because for the longest time, sure, cryptocurrency was this great thing where we could kind of accumulate money outside of the fiat system and have an asset that was decentralized and all this sort of thing. But how are we ever really going to spend it unless vendors and people who are selling goods and services start to buy it? So this is absolutely huge because now, instead of having to liquidate all your cryptocurrencies, get it in cash back into fiat currency, maybe pay a bunch of capital gains tax, you can essentially take that cryptocurrency you have in your wallet and buy yourself a new Tesla. And who knows who follows in that wake? Stripe, an online payment processor, starting to get involved in cryptocurrency. All sorts of different businesses are probably murmuring, and there's rumors going on. We should probably start accepting cryptocurrency if it's getting this popular and this many people own it. So this is what people just like you have been waiting for forever. Institutional adoption. The corporate world starting to say, yes, this is legitimate, we'll accept it as payment. And obviously the price starts to rise and it goes up 5% and it goes up 10% and it goes up 15% and the crypto mania continues. It's absolutely wild what's going on. And then of course, there you are counting all your money, maybe looking on Auto Trader for that new Porsche because you're just living it now. But Elon Musk comes out a couple days later and says,
yeah, guys, what I said about us accepting cryptocurrency, accepting Bitcoin, as leaders in this world and trying to solve these major problems, we think that cryptocurrency is maybe doing a little too much harm for the environment with the amount of energy it uses to mine. So if anyone out there is willing to do what Bitcoin can do for 1% or 10% of the energy consumption, we will gladly partner with you.
And it was something to that effect in this tweet. And obviously now, this entire run-up, all of this pandemonium and all this excitement about institutional adoption is pretty much slashed at the knees because Elon Musk is essentially the god of cryptocurrency buyers everywhere. Is he the god of cryptocurrency buyers? He's certainly the god of cryptocurrency speculators, that's for sure. So what does this mean for us as investors? Well, I think every time a new technology or a new type of investment comes along, there's going to be a period of kind of figuring things out. The reality is cryptocurrency hasn't been around long enough for us to really protect the people who might get hurt from it. For instance, we have the Securities and Exchange Commission, and their whole job is to make sure investors aren't being defrauded and aren't being hurt. And if Elon Musk had been doing what he is doing to cryptocurrencies with, let's say, the stock of a company, he would probably be under investigation by the SEC by now, and he likely would have been shut down. In fact, in the past, he had gotten into a little trouble with the SEC with the way he talked about Tesla on his Twitter profile. Now, there's something else at play here, though, and the question is, do you really want to be investing in something where the words of one person could completely derail the value of that investment? And this reminds me of a quote from Warren Buffett, who's of course one of the investing greats. And he essentially says, you know what, you want to buy a company so great that an idiot can run it and it would still be profitable, because eventually one will. And that's a funny situation. It's a funny quote, because he's essentially saying you want to buy an incentive structure and a system and an institution, an organization that has enough quality and a good enough structure that even if a bad person is involved with it, it still maintains its integrity. Now, I'm not saying Elon Musk is a bad person. I'm not saying Bitcoin is a bad institution. What I'm trying to get at here is that there is a very specific risk to investing a large portion of your net worth in something that can be moved by one person. And if you're investing in something like cryptocurrency whose value can be dictated one way or another by the things that one person says, you can probably argue that that isn't a very safe or diversified bet. And although I am a fan of cryptocurrencies, this is another risk that we have to take into account, right? And I'd also be curious to know if maybe some new coin comes along and they find a way to decentralize that coin so that nobody can manipulate the price of it by what they say online. I'm not sure if that's even possible. I bet they'd find a way to make a coin like that. But all I'm trying to say, guys, is that investing is obviously going to involve risk, no matter what way you do it. We are only now really finding out what the real risks are of owning cryptocurrency. But I do want to give credit to a few things that we can learn from cryptocurrency investors, okay? And although they might be on the radical end of this, it is important. And what they do extremely well is, if you look at some of the responses from people in the cryptocurrency community, they come out and say something to the effect of,
well, we don't really care what Elon Musk says. Whatever Elon Musk says, he's going to say. We believe in the thesis of this technology, we believe in the future of what this is, and we are going to ride out whatever short-term deviations happen in the price.
And that is actually a great lesson we can learn as investors. Sure, maybe we don't want to over-concentrate our wealth in something that can be completely manipulated or where there's a risk of one person screwing it up. But what we can learn from crypto investors is to ignore the noise in the short term. Whenever you're investing in something, if you believe it's a good asset and it's going to produce value, and you believe in the thesis of that investment, whether it's a piece of real estate, whether it's a business, whether it's buying a share of a company, what you need to be able to do that crypto investors do so well is tune out the noise in the short term so that you can benefit from holding that stock or that investment for the long run. The less that you allow yourself to be affected by the environment around you and the headlines and the Fox News and the CNN, the more clear-headed your decision-making can be. That's why Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger live in Omaha, and they operate their business out of Omaha when all of their peers and all the other investment managers work in New York and San Francisco. They decide to work in Omaha because it keeps them away from the noise. It allows them to maintain clear thinking. So anyways, guys, those I believe are some lessons that we can learn from this current Elon Musk cryptocurrency debacle. If you learned anything from that whatsoever, please make sure to hit that like button below, press subscribe, and turn on post notifications for more videos just like this one every single week. Until next time.